Hey, so my name is Anna. I'm head of business development at Everstake, and today we're going to talk about staking strategies on Ethereum after Pectra upgrade. So actually, validator maze is breaking, and right now all protocols, builders, stakers need to consider how they're gonna interact with Ethereum staking after Pectra. And why actually it matters? It matters because it brings significant faster onboarding, significant lower cost, and new decentralization challenges. So it's 11 APIs that improving staking UX and that improving a network's performance itself. And it reshapes all the operator and validator operations at a scale. So what this means for validators? Definitely efficiency went up here, and the stakes also goes with them. So as we can observe, we have a higher blob capacity for it. We have faster activations and lower staking risks, and validator management here is simplified. And here is where Everstake is bringing some insights from the fields to explain how it actually works under the hood from the validator perspective. So right now, we can say that we're gonna have a super validator. So maximum effective balance per one validator is increasing from 32 ETH to 2048 ones. So it allows actually multiple validators to be merged into one. It itself reduces the DevOps load and reduce the network overhead. And fewer BLS signature is needed now, and less peer-to-peer noise that happening inside the network. So, and slashing risks is decreased. As we've done our own technical research on this, we can see that before we had 1 ETH could be slashed per each 32 ETH. And right now, we have only 0.024% that could be applied to each 2048 ETH validator. So it's a great news for stakers, especially for institutional ones, who are gonna manage less number of validators and reduce their slashing risks. So, and near instant validator activations. So right now, deposits could be handled directly on an execution layer. That is like very important. And it's allow a faster onboarding of new validators and enable responsible scaling. So as we did some math on this part as well, and we figured out that yearly missed rewards for the network will result as 274 ETH that right now is available for stakers to actually get this reward, not miss this. And a validator exit made significantly easier. So validator right now can exit through the transaction on the execution layer itself, and it's remove reliance on the beacon chain exit key that we had before, and directly actually contributed to more than 16,000 validators that are already exit after Pectra upgrade. So actually the good opportunity here is a dynamic capital allocation and a linear validator stats for institutional players. So also touching the blobs per block that we had previously, target rates was 3 and the maximum was 6. Right now we have a target as a 6 and maximum as a 9. So it grows significantly, and daily blob capacity is grow 48%, and right now it results in more than 8 gigabytes of blob data. Actually here we have more space for relapse, and relapse is the first category who react very fast on this. For the blob usage, that are lags behind capacity right now. So they're using only 66% of a new blob target that we have. So the opportunity here is stay pretty high. Fill rates grow from 82 to 86% for more efficient use of space. And unused blob space here is equal to unrealized throughput. So right now blobs are cheap, but demand is catching up slowly for this, as you can observe. So the spike is under the graph. And for blob market adoption itself, so blob usage is growing up to 21%, whereas the network rollup capacity is growing from 2.7 gigabyte to 3.3 gigabyte itself. So the main category and median blob price here is relatively low. So it's like 9 digits after the decimal point. And that's why it causes huge spikes in profitability for rollups. As its costs are collapsed, so we have a very significant drop, more than 50% in rollups cost, and in Ethereum that burned from blobs. For sure, they organically growing in cost saving and in a boost their sustainability. So here we can, here we can observe how rollups margin exploded after Pectra upgrades, and we know that in absolute numbers, for example, Base earned 1.2 million gross and 1.1 in the net revenue, and all tracked rollups at least doubles their revenue. So for profit skyrocket, you can observe one by one here. So we tracked Pectra, the date of live mainnet, and we can see how it's spiking in a 7 days moving average. So the hidden cost here for validators itself especially as well. It's a node storage pressure that is actually rising. So per Pectra we had around 44 gigabytes in the node storage space, and right now it's growing. So new record is 44.6 gigabytes in the node storage, and infrastructure requirements is also scaling up. So infrastructure providers here should be well prepared for this. And like compared to this pressure, do the larger validator earn less? Actually, not really. And this is actually an insight we prepared from Everstake side and made some deep analysis on this. So we figure out that 64 plus Ethereum validators performed on pair with 32 Ethereum validators, as we had all want. So performance difference quite random and not systemic, and larger validators are just as profitable as the smaller one. How we figure out it and how we can actually prove this to understand the exact numbers. So we did some experiments on base of our data science team, and we selected Ethereum mainnet validators that are larger than 32 ETH and defined them as a group 1. Then we defined the total stake of all the validators that has more than 64 ETH, and take a random numbers of validators with 32 plus ETH and define them as a group 2 with the same amount of ETH staked. So then we compare the rewards and average APR on consensus and execution layer per each group of validators. And here is the result of such experiments that we've done. And we can see here that variety between average execution layer APR and median consensus layer APR is a pretty random and not so significant. So it's very, very small numbers. And you can see like it's markets by yellow, that sometimes a group with 64 plus X is winning, and sometimes the smaller validators is winning. So we can conclude and say that it's probably almost no difference in the profitability between the smaller one validators, as we used to do, like 32 is, and the larger ones. So for the validators landscape, Post-Pectra, related to our results that we got from our analysis, it seems that fewer validators will take place with a bigger stakes inside each of them. And we also have already proof from a market where we can see that validator count is dropped already for more than 6,000 validators after the Pectra upgrade. So it means that the validators, especially institutional related one, started to grow the amount of ETH per each particular validator they handle and start to reduce the amount of keys they need to manage. Also, like as we mentioned, it will cause a different number of keys per each entity, and driven by exits and super validator merge, it should scale incentive for end user or for institutional staker because of reducing the cost and reducing the operation workflow for this. So, and per the statistic numbers, average stake per validator is jumped from 32 ETH already to 32.4, and it continued to grow. So here is, we also can track very interesting one, the average APR and average effectiveness rating per different verticals and types of setups. So we have a general network parameters here, which is the first one, then LST protocols and node pools for Ethereum staking. Then we get a top one professional validators average and actually average stake. So here we can observe who is reacting faster for these changes and who's already started the implementation. And we can definitely say that professional validators on a first step on this part, who started this implementation and who started delivering these new opportunities, optimized opportunities for Ethereum staking for their users. Probably because it's a skin game here. So, and to summarize the key impact, so validator stack just got an upgrade, definitely, with a Post-Pectra. Super validators cut their cost and cut their slashing risks. Activation time is near instant, despite the thing that we observe that the amount for Ethereum staking are growing itself significantly. Also, block price collapsed, relapse boomed. We observed with you the relapse profitability spikes, etc. So it became more and more profitable and more efficient due to the cost structure. And storage demands are growing. So for sure, it's another notifications for validators and infrastructure runners to be well prepared and to cover all the requirements here. And while validator sats is shrinking, the stake concentration is rising here. So, and here, like based on this, we are actively digging in what is next. So we're working on topics of stake consolidations that should bring cost saving and centralization. We're observing that validator exits streamlines right now the networks, but reduce the diversity. And we also keeping an eye on a governance that needs to keep up on Ethereum side. And here is, we are opening research, launch research initiatives where we welcome all builders, researchers, validators, infrastructure runners, and other players to join us to open discussion and to model the validator behavior and Ethereum staking flow itself for a future periods and to work on this together. So please join us if you're open and if you're on the field. Thank you.
We have time for the question. Okay.
Hi. Where are we in the progress of updating to the new type of validators, especially for institutional providers? Did they already upgrade to benefit from the efficiencies? Are they waiting for something? And where do you think it will settle? Will everything be transitioned to the new type at the end? Or will there be any reason to keep 32 ETH takers for some reason?
Yeah, thank you so much for a good question, actually. For sure, especially for big professional validators, it's a very deep question because all of them, probably not only Everstake, have a different kinds of a setup. So for sure, we have our own solutions, for example, for B2B clients, where we're setting up validators from 32 ETH, and it's definitely a sign for us after our research that we need to migrate it and we need to increase the amount of ETH per each particular validator to reduce the slashing risk for our clients and to keep the profitability and to reduce operation management stuff. But as we talk about, let's say, retail solutions where we have pooling solution from 0.1 ETH, as for now, it's probably better to keep it with 32 just to activate validators faster and deliver to our clients faster results in case of rewards. So. And then it probably will be increased also, like according to internal management stuff. And for sure, like definitely another question is the participation of liquid staking protocol. Because, for example, at Everstake, we are co-operator in Lido, we operate in Stader. So probably it should take time while it will be approved inside the protocol teams first. It should went all the procedures related, and not only one player could move forward with such upgrade. I believe all the set of operators should do it synchronously and bring this new functionality to a protocol itself. So answering your question, internally from our side, for sure, we are starting with institutional solution upgrade, where we have a purely institutional relations who will definitely like 100% benefit from it. So it's already started, so the process initiated on our side. And then probably we'll be moving one by one with some like maybe timeline that will be needed to implement all this stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. More question? Seems no. Thank you very much for Anna for the best presentation.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.